Next week, the Archives event might be kicked off, and it could actually be the last time that we get to play this event. Welcome to the Omnic Recap. I am D, and every Sunday we look back at what happened during the past week in Overwatch. Time sure flies. It feels like I was talking about the start date for Lunar New Year just yesterday. And today we're already looking forward to the next one, the Archives event. In a few minutes we're going to discuss the start date, the skins, and why this might be the last Archives event ever. But first, we need to tackle the other news for this week. Let's dive in. Jesus. All those sport metaphors. I think my brain is trying to tell me something. Well, on Thursday, Blizzard blessed us with a new experimental card. The last few cards have been pretty harsh, but it seems this time around the team is sparing the nerf bat. Well, except for Zarya. She ended up on the naughty list. Nerf list. I don't know why I said it that way. Stop looking! Zarya's energy drain rate increased from 1.6 to 1.8 per second. In Russia, game nerfs you, apparently. It seems like she was doing a little too well. Now, I've tried to change, and for me, the change was not that noticeable. But I'm just a plat/diamond Reinhardt main. Yeah, I know, Reinhardt. Weird, right? Beer. But real Zarya mains might feel quite different about this change. But apart from this one nerf, all the rest of them were buffs. It has been a while since we've seen them, so let me explain. A buff is when they make a hero stronger. Remember that? Yeah. First off, Genji. The recovery on Genji's Shuriken was lowered from 0.75 to 0.68. On top of that, his Dragon Blade ultimate cost was increased by 15%. So that's more shurikens in a certain time frame, but his ult will cost more to kind of level that out. Next up, Mei, aka Freeze. Her Cryo Freeze healing per second was increased from 37.5 to a whopping 50. So she can clearly heal herself better. Or she does not have to stay that long in that ice block before she pops out, turns towards you, and eats you like a ravenous demon ice dog. She scares me, okay? Farah. Her Hooverjet regeneration rate was increased from 35 to 43. So, it turns out she was just jealous of Echo, and she got an upgrade. Reaper. The damage per projectile on his Hellfire shotguns was increased from 5.5 to 6. That is basically a small retune after they nerfed it pretty hard last time. And Sigma. The cooldown on his experimental barrier was reduced from 2.5 to 2 seconds. That's my favorite of all these changes. I personally do play a lot of Sigma. Just don't tell Reinhardt, okay? The previous nerf was just too harsh. And trust me, that 0.5 seconds really makes a difference. It felt really good during my test plays, and I don't have any of those, oh, come on, where's my shield moments anymore. What do you think of all these changes? Let me know in the comments. They'll most likely go live somewhere in the coming days. And if I had to guess, I would say Tuesday, because that's when Season 27 will finally be kicked off. Since quite sometimes, the seasons will usually follow each other instantly. So when Season 26 was over on Thursday, we expected 27 to start right after that. Turns out it was a bug that prevented Blizzard from launching the new season. And after a few hours of trying to fix it, they just decided to postpone it to Tuesday. On top of that, they reactivated Season 26, but with a small twist. Players that promote to a higher rank during that extended time will not get the extra coins they might expect. Instead, they'll get praise. So I guess we'll have to wait till Tuesday to do those placements. Something else that might be happening during the coming week is the start of the Archives event. In the previous years, the event always started around the second week of April. Except last year. Last year, Blizzard changed the schedule and they started the event on the second Thursday of March. It is still unclear why they actually did that, or I forgot why they did that. But the important question here is, are they going to stick to their original schedule of April, or are they going to start it again in March? And in March, that could be March 11th, which is next Thursday, or the week after that on March 18th. Now, one thing that is different this year versus last year is that the Overwatch League Season 2021 will start on April 16th. So having a new esports season kicking off while another event is still going on, not a good idea. So that's why I'm thinking that they'll start in March. And to be more specific, my guess is March 18th. March 11th is just a little too soon. And that way the event will run till April 8th, which is just a week before the start of the Overwatch League season. So that is my educated guess. March 18th. Mark your calendars. Now erase it again because it's Blizzard. Okay. But what can we expect from this event? Well, we'll of course see the return of those 3 missions: Uprising, Retribution, and Storm Rising. And they'll most likely add a few more of those challenges on those missions. Hell, they might even do a small alteration or a different twist on one of those missions. I do, however, not foresee them adding a new mission, for the same reason that they're not adding a new hero. They're busy with Overwatch 2. And I know Jeff said that they still have a lot of content for Overwatch 1, but I don't think it's going to be something that they'll not be able to reuse in Overwatch 2. Because, that's right, this might be the last time that they do this Archives event. Hopefully by this time next year, Overwatch 2 will be out or will be pretty close. And I don't see this event making the move along to the new game. Mainly because this is an event about PvE and lore. That's 2 things they already do way better in Overwatch 2. But what will they do with that content? With all that lore? While they have way better tools and way better mechanics in Overwatch 2, that story, the stories they tell in those missions, are still pretty interesting. Well, they might put them in a separate tab in story missions, for instance. Or maybe they'll rework them into something fancier. Or, and that's the worst case scenario, they consider it a thing of the past and they just remove them. I am really curious to see what they're going to do with these Archives missions. But that's something to worry about next year. This year, those missions will still be there and we'll get a new batch of skins. 5 legendaries and 3 epics that you can unlock with the weekly challenges. So basically, the usual stuff. The thing is that this is the event that brings us the most lore-based skins. Like the talent skins, for instance. Or those ugly blue Overwatch skins. Look, Overwatch was not forced to disband. A lot of people don't know that. They actually all decided to stop because everyone was sick and tired of wearing those silly hats. So the big question is, who is getting a skin this time? AKA, what names does D pull out of a big Viking hat and do not end up getting a skin? Well, there are a few characters that could use an extra skin. Like Symmetra, for instance. She had her own short story not that long ago, which also included a skin. But I do think there's more story there that could warrant a beautiful legendary skin. And what about one for Genji to mirror Hanzo's science skin? Oh. And then there's Moira. She has a Blackwatch skin, but she doesn't really have a talent skin yet. And it isn't always about lore. Sometimes they show these casual versions of the heroes that we know and love. Maybe Echo and Reaper, for instance. It is Echo's first Archive event, and Reaper hasn't actually gotten a new legendary since last year's anniversary event. But on the other hand, he's not the only one. And in the end, that usually is not a major factor in their decision process. For the Epic skin, it's even more difficult to predict. So, Reinhardt, Fire, Zenyatta. There. I don't know. If the event should start on March 18th, like I predicted, we'll probably see an announcement and maybe some teasers in a few days before that. Keep an eye on the Omnic post on Instagram and Twitter to be updated if anything happens. And one last thing is that I'm doing a giveaway over on the Omnic post where I'm giving away t-shirts. You can win one of the t-shirts on my shop if you win this giveaway. It's to celebrate the 4-year anniversary of the Omnic post. 4 years. Crazy. It has been a wild ride. And the best is yet to come, folks. But for now, that was it. Give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and come say hi during one of my streams on Twitch. All the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye. Well, there are a few characters to get... well, there are a few characters...